And that's, of course, that space behind the Ford Falcon of Glenn Seaton is where Paul Radisich would have been, but he's out with the blown engines. That's tragedy for one of the two Kiwis. So it's just down to Greg Murphy on pole for race 2. Gets off to a pretty steady start. Look at Brock.
Oh, Murph bogged it down. Murph has bogged it down, and Brocky's gone through following Glenn Seaton. So Murph couldn't quite pull off the 2 in a row. He did a great job first time out, but now he's got all the work to do. What are his chances?
It's going to be extremely tough for him at the moment. These first few laps, they're going to have to settle down. Obviously, they're all going to be going extremely fast, and I think Murph is going to have his work cut out, especially passing his teammate and Glenn Seaton.
He'll be pretty annoyed at that because in the practice sessions this morning, he sat there in that spot and practiced his starts, and he got off to good starts. Look at this, though, the dogfight up towards the hairpin.
Peter Brock trying the outside line around Seaton at the hairpin. First time, Seaton shows him the outside of the track. Brocky says, OK, I will give way to you right now. Now we've got this 2 Mobil HRT cars side by side, and Murph's going to take it back from Brock. So he shows the master the way around the S's on the way up to Mobil Mountain.
And remember, of course, this is where they almost collided yesterday in practice, and Brocky's down the inside again.
That was a good move by Murphy, actually. He saw Brock try to pass Seaton on the outside and basically got hung out to dry, and Murphy just followed Seaton from the inside and passed him with great pass.
The question is now, can he close the gap on Glenn Seaton and the Ford Credit Ford Falcon out in front? So it's Ford, Commodore, and then the rest of the chasing pack as they sprint down, stretch the big legs, down the back straight of Pukekohe. You're on board with Greg Murphy in the Mobil 1, number 1 Commodore.
So full noise down the back straight, 6 gear, chopping it down, getting down to first. Who's that? Is that Dad coming through or JB?
It looks like Johnny Bow up from group 7. He's passed a few up there. He passed Jonesy on that last lap, so he's on a bit of a charge at the moment.
So the HRT guys turning on the fun, and I think Murph is going to be giving Glenn Seaton some grief pretty quickly, because last time we saw them...
Whoa, Rocky! Well, doing a bit of the old lawnmower and just going into Mobil Mountain. He had it up on 2 wheels, so he's got a bit of the old attitude back into that 05 Commodore. And the main man, Brocky, wants to get back into the top 3 and try to teach these young guys how to do it.
You can really see Brocky then having a big go. He's really throwing that car around, trying to keep up and trying to be real aggressive, which we saw last year when he was running the Trans Ams with us.
So no team waters on the HR team quite often.
No,
HRT team
doesn't look like it, does it? No.
Not at all. They just shoulder each other out of the way. No problem. Here comes Murph attacking Seaton. A good fight between Alan Jones coming back at John Bow in the FAA Falcon and the Allied Movers Falcon. John Bow holding it.
Oh, Murphy! No, Brock.
Brock getting a little loose, and Bow's going to take advantage of that.
Shall we take it? Oh, look at that. This is going off these guys. Peter Brock just getting it loose coming out of the hairpin, and old Johnny Bow. Yeah, I'll take that spot, no problem.
It doesn't take much to pick up the position or lose a position. It takes just a little mistake like that. He got a little bit sideways, and you can see it here on the replay.
Check it out. Brocky just getting out on the strips, getting on the marbles first, then out onto the bump strip. And no traction out there, that's for sure. So John Bow down the back straight there in the Falcon. One of the few guys running. He's doing the best out of the Dunlop runners right now, Steve.
Yeah, the Dunlops are fairly struggling at this track at the moment. Most of the tyres on the car are fine, except for the left-hand rear, which obviously most of the cons of Pukekohe are right-handers, which really load the left rear of the... here comes Brocky.
Brocky setting him up.
Oh, Brocky! Whoa, big twitch there. Recovers well. He's having a classic rate. The old legend himself, isn't he?
He's having a go, I can tell you that. He's using every bit of the track and more.
I reckon JB watched the same thing, watched the replay of the last race, and the Craig Baird pulled the same move in the New Zealand touring car race. I think Brocky saw that, decided that's for me as well. Did it to Radisich last race. This time when he tries to do it again, no way.
Peter Brock, let's take a look at the legend. Of course, the 3-time Australian touring car champion. 9 wins at Bathurst, shooting for number 10. Will it come along? Bart Cummings did it in the Melbourne Cup. Can Brocky do it for the fans at Mount Panorama? 2-time winner of the Wellington Street Race. He won back here in 1990 in a Ford Sierra at Pukekohe with Andrew Madecki, and he was 4th in this year's Australian touring car champion. Peter Brock in the HRT team.
Jesus, fairly close here, isn't it? You can't put a paper between all these guys, and Johnny Bow's one of the hardest guys to pass in the touring car scene, so all the 3 guys behind him are going to have to work extremely hard.
But this is what the crowd have come to see here at Pukekohe.
Here we go. There's Brocky trying to get around the outside on the left-hander. So come the right-hander across the mountain. He's going to be on the right line. But what happens? Gets loose out there. Bow gives him no room.
It's got the same sort of buzz as Bathurst. In fact, it's probably feels bigger than Bathurst at the moment, because for New Zealand teams or New Zealand fans, we haven't seen the entire field of V8s. It's always been either your father, Dick Johnson, or Peter Brock out here against the BMW. So it really has been a fantastic day so far. Over the top of Mobil Mountain, the number 1 HRT Commodore, Greg Murphy. Murph on his home turf, and he makes it back-to-back wins. In the V8 Supercar, second John Bow, third Alan Jones, then Dick Johnson. Coming down to the finish line will be Tony Longhurst, and then Larry Perkins, Glenn Seaton, rounding out the 8 cars left in the field of the 12 starters from the 2 races. And there it is, another great performance by Greg Murphy.
I don't care what people do with the tyre rule after this, but this is what brought the punters out to Pukekohe today. They wanted to see a Kiwi win, to see if he could do it, and having been here and seen him do it twice, especially after a bit of a botched start, that's awesome. And I mean, this crowd, 30,000 people out there, just loving it.
Yeah, I know Murphy's done quite a lot of laps around Pukekohe.
So just confirm those results for the Australian touring cars. Greg Murphy first in the number 1 car. So he's back-to-back victories, and he's taken 20 points so far from the 2 races. 40 points, I should say. Of course, it's 20 points for